One of these librarians is sitting in the secret square, and the contestant who picks it first could win a library shop prize package worth nearly $50. Christina. So, we have Christina from Pacific Beach Library, Azalea from Central Library, Vanessa from the Pauline Foster Teen Center at Central Library, Lydia from North Park Library, Erin from the University Heights Library, Mark from Oak Park Library, Carrie from Malcolm X Library, Marissa, Sarah Mesa Library, and me, Bijan, from College Orlando Library. All in the Librarian Hollywood Squares. And here's the host of Librarian Squares, Library Shop Scott. Yay!
Thank you very much, Bijan, and good evening, and welcome to the Librarian Hollywood Squares, the world's premier and only librarian-powered vintage game show parody. Hello, librarians. Yeah, sorry about that. Now let's meet our contestants. Mr. O is Steve Montgomery. Steve is a retired high school librarian. Thank you for your service, Steve. Steve is also a writer and co-facilitates a San Diego Writers Inc. writing group with Judy Reeves, who incidentally is one of the Library Shop's favorite customers. Yes. Steve, I believe you're also a YouTube personality and filmed a segment with fashion guru Tim Gunn.
Yes, that is a true statement. Yes.
Tell us a little more about this YouTube channel. I'm a little jealous actually, because I was hoping to be the star of the Librarian Hollywood Squares, but the contestant seems to be more famous than I am.
Well, my friend Susanna Norberg and I have a little show on YouTube called Christian Crafternoon, and we are married, inept crafters, and we don't know a lot about the Bible, but we have a lot of fun. And my character, whose name also happens to be Steve, created a line of men's crafting smocks, and I kept saying that I wanted Tim Gunn to be my spokesperson. So I actually wrote to him a few years ago and sent him a little disc with some of our clips, and he was so gracious, and he invited us up to his apartment in New York, and we filmed some segments, and it was great fun.
Amazing.
If I hear nothing else today on Librarian Hollywood Squares, I think this episode was a success.
Awesome.
That's amazing. I was also really struck by the library story you shared with me. It included a description of the library that I've heard from a lot of patrons, from a lot of walks of life, and that's the concept of the library as a safe space. Do you want me to tell us more about that?
Well, I grew up in a small town in Idaho, Pocatello, and as a gay boy growing up there, the library really became a refuge for me and a place that opened my mind to other places beyond Pocatello, thank goodness. And not that there's anything wrong with Pocatello, but I needed something more. And so when I became a school librarian, that's the kind of space I wanted to create for our students and patrons.
That's amazing. Thank you. So let's meet our Ms. X, Flo Pierce. Flo is an exercise physiologist and teacher. She enjoys reading, swimming, fitness, and a little gardening. Flo, you're also a writer, and you're writing a book of vignettes about growing up in a small town in Virginia.
Yeah, but it sounds like whatever he just said, the name of that little too.
You guys should collaborate on a small town vignette book. And the library actually does a local author program, which has been around for years and years and years. I believe it's every January they have a exhibit, and it stays up. But you guys should both reach out and learn about that. Christina, you're coughing. Did I give wrong information? February. That's what I said. That's what I said.
Even librarians cough information.
The reception is January.
The reception is in January. Thank you. Okay.
September 6th is when they open for registration.
Oh, Carrie, you actually work on the local author program, correct?
I do.
Okay. So how should these authors contact us to learn more?
If they head on to the San Diego Public Library website, there's a tab for local author, and you can apply on there. September 6th is when they start registration.
Okay. So that is what we call in the game show business a product placement. Notice how we turned it from personal stories to advertising our own services. So thank you, Flo, for joining us. Thank you, Steve. The object of the players is to get 3 librarians in a row, either across, up, down, or diagonally. It is up to the contestant to figure out if the librarian is giving them a correct answer or making it up to get the square. Each completed game is worth a $25 library shop gift card. The first 2 out of 3 games wins the match, and in each match there is a secret square.
And X will start the search for a secret square to win a rainbow unicorn floaty serving bowl. Wow! It is a flotation device. Is it a flotation device or is it a bowl? Who cares? It's summer! And nothing says summer louder than filling this quirky ceramic bowl shaped as an iconic unicorn pool float with tasty hummus and having your own socially distanced veggie dip party miles away from the nearest swimming pool. Thanks, 2020. Proudly designed by a DIY in Barcelona and retails for $24.95. That's it, Scott.
That's amazing. And you'll be glad to know the library shop bought dozens of those, getting ready for our big summer, which we've been closed for. So that's a bummer. But I'll be happy to gift one to a contestant if you get the secret square and you get the answer correct. So now let's show the audience at home who the secret square is. And now on to the questions, which our librarians must answer with a guess or a bluff, and are hearing the actual questions for the first time as they're asked. So Flo, as Ms. X, you're going to start us off. You have the board. Pick a square.
How about Bijan?
Hi!
Center square, Bijan. How are you doing?
So excited to be here. I got you, Flo. Do this.
Hey, wait,
Okay.
do you know what a group of unicorns is called?
I don't.
This is not a joke. Anyone?
No. Is it a glory?
A figment of our imagination.
Pride.
Those are all good. It's called a blessing.
Really?
A blessing
According
of
to whom, Flo?
unicorns.
I'm just check your sources.
Question of the day.
Okay.
Sorry.
Bijan,
Question
the
of the day.
San Diego Public Library System consists of 36 branches. Which branch has the newest building in the system? And which branch has the oldest building in the system?
Wow. Okay. Well, the oldest building is Ocean Beach Library, and the newest building would be Skyline Hills Library.
Skyline Hills. Flo, I don't know how familiar you are with our 36 branch system, but do you agree or disagree with the librarian?
I tend to agree that OB must be the oldest. And I'm going to say yes, I agree.
I agree. Okay. Unfortunately, the answer is, you know, technically San Isidro, Bijan.
Oh, San Isidro! Totally wrong.
Which opened
Months ago.
September.
Yeah, which opened just a few months ago down at San Isidro. Beautiful new library. So the O goes to Bijan Square, and Steve, you have the board.
All right, I would
That's what we
like
call
to.
a bluff.
I would like to select Carrie, please.
Carrie, how are you doing?
I am good.
So on the last episode of Librarian Hollywood Squares, Kent joined us. So I appreciate you stepping in today. Tell us some interesting things about you as a librarian.
So I am actually an identical twin, and my brother actually works at the San Diego Public Library as well too. So we are a family that works at the library.
And so Kent is your brother.
Yes.
And I assume you guys must share shirts. Is that a fair assessment?
We like to match from time to time, and we thought this was a perfect opportunity to match.
Well, thank you for joining us on the Librarian Hollywood Squares. I believe you are a family of librarians, correct? Is there not another Tran?
There's actually 4 of us now. We married someone else, so we got 4.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so a family of librarians.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask Carrie a general library question then. And that is, author of Book Lust, this librarian is the only librarian with their own action figure. Famous librarian has her own action figure.
I used to know this one.
I bet your brother would know this in like a second flat.
I bet he would.
Only we could get him on this show.
Wow.
Was it a former librarian, or
I'm not sure of the rules of Librarian Hollywood Squares, but I don't think that I'm supposed to help you.
Is it Clara Breed? She used to be a librarian.
Claire Breed. Steve, Claire Breed, agree or disagree?
I disagree. It's Nancy Pearl.
Wow, this guy
Everyone
came with his
knows
own
that.
answers. Amazing.
Whoa.
Give the O to Steve Carey. It is Nancy Pearl. She's the author of Book Lust, which is a popular book and a blog and such. So she's sort of a librarian celebrity. Flo.
Azalea for the blog.
Azalea. Yeah, I think that's the right choice. Azalea, how are you doing?
Oh, doing well. How are you?
Could I possibly help Flo out a bit?
Steve?
Because I believe, according to the chart, the squares, that Vanessa would be the block.
Huh.
No, actually, you might have. I've got Kent, who is Carrie today. Then I've got Bijan in the center, and Azalea's up top.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Your eyes deceive you, Steve.
I was trying to help. Yes, you're right.
We're not as impressed with your big lead now, Steve. We see maybe it's luck. Okay, Azalea, let's get a question for you. True or false, Black Beauty was banned by censors in South Africa during apartheid for its title alone?
True.
Flo, Black Beauty was banned during apartheid.
Steve, thanks for the attempt to be the Macy Santa Claus and help me out anyway. Azalea, I believe you.
You're going to agree?
I'm going to agree.
And the answer is true. So yes, the X goes to Azalea. This always shocks me. We have a product in the library shop called the Banned Book Matchbook Set. It's got little matchbooks with the covers of famous banned books, so that way you can burn the book with the proper book of matches. It's sort of a joke to make fun of banning books. But it turns out that Black Beauty was banned by the censors in South Africa because they didn't bother to read books. They just banned it because the concept of black and beautiful was forbidden. So it's pretty insane. So we're going on to Steve.
Don't ban books. That's the message. Don't ban them.
I would like to choose Marissa.
Marissa, how are you doing?
Doing great. Happy to be here.
I believe in addition to working libraries, you're a near professional juggler. Is that fair?
Well, professional is generous, but yeah, I'm pretty good at it.
Did you bring anything with you today to juggle? Because that would have been amazing.
Wow. Nice.
Oh, she's got like a crossover technique. That's amazing.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a children's literature question, Marissa. What does Max wear in Where the Wild Things Are? What does the character Max wear in Where the Wild Things Are?
He wears wolf pajamas with a gold crown, and he has his scepter for when the Wild Rumpus starts.
I agree.
That's pretty specific for a bluff, so that is true. Yes, the O
Way to
goes
go.
By the
to
way,
Marissa.
That was good.
That was next
Specific.
level. My answer sheet just said wolf suit, so
Oh.
you're already...
Children
So
know.
Flo, you have the board.
Mark, D to block, please.
Mark to block. Mark, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you, Scott?
Very well. I don't remember you having the cowboy hat in the first episode, but maybe I never looked up from my notes. Is that? No, you can leave it on. It's fine.
Leave it on. Leave it on.
You're the branch manager
Yeah,
at
more
your
and more as I
branch.
get up.
Yeah, you're the
what?
branch manager, so you can decide the rules for headwear indoor.
What I want to do.
Yeah.
I am who I am.
And let's see. I'm gonna ask you a San Diego Public Library history question, Mark. I'm sort of targeting you as the senior librarian here. I apologize.
I've been here for 32 years, I suppose.
32 years of service. What did you get for your 30th? They give you a belt buckle or something?
A hat.
This pen right here.
Okay, very
Teeny,
nice.
teeny,
Pen.
tiny pin.
Sapphire.
It's actually
Well,
got two even smaller jewels in it.
In post-production, we'll blow that up so it's larger
Yes.
for people.
It does reflect the library budget, let it be known.
That's very true. And if you want to help out to advocate for more funding for the San Diego Public Library, there's a great website called librariestransformsd.org, and it is a group led by the foundation, which I work for as part of the library shop, and we advocate to the city council with the Friends of the Library to try to increase our funding here. So thank you for bringing that up, Lydia. Mark, this is going to be the longest question in Librarian Square's history. So I'm going to take my glasses off for this one.
All right.
The Central Library's Hervey Family Rare Book Room houses the Wagenheim collection of rare books and materials. The room has a tranquil feel of a 19th century wood-paneled private library with a modern flair. In addition to books, inside there is a 14-foot-long study table created by San Diego woodworker Bill Murphy. It consists of 2 parallel 400-pound slabs of eucalyptus, which were taken from the same tree, which I've heard stories it was at the side of the road. It tipped over from a lightning strike, but I can't confirm that. So how did they get this gigantic table into the rare book room?
That's the question.
I know, right? That was a lot to get to that.
That was a build-up.
That's a long question, Scott.
So very big table. How did they get it up into the rare book room?
Mule train.
Mark, has your audio cut out? Are you still with us?
I was trying to think of how I might possibly do it, and I'm not going to say what first came to mind. Perhaps they put it in there prior to putting the roof on the room.
That's an interesting strategy. So agree or disagree? They were able to get that table in before they put the roof on.
Mark, I think you're teasing me. I'm going to say no.
That is correct. That is correct, Flo. In fact, they used a crane because the table was so big, it did not fit in the freight elevator. And because of the way the stairs are, they couldn't carry it up the stairs because it wouldn't fit there either. So they had to rent an actual crane to bring the table to the 9th floor. See, that was worth it. Come on.
Would you have
Steve,
accepted very carefully as a response?
No.
Just curious.
Steve, you have the board.
So she got the X there.
Yeah, so we're looking at, yes, so I see one square you probably want to go to for the win on my board.
I misunderstood. I thought Flo agreed or disagreed with him. So Flo agreed. That was my mistake.
She disagreed because he was wrong, so she got it right.
Oh, this crane thing I thought was going in where the roof used.
No. It fit right through the
part I
doors.
didn't understand.
Yeah.
I thought, didn't it go to that?
That's my fault as a host. I apologize.
Then I would like to go to Christina.
Christina, for the win. Christina.
Yes.
According to author Laura Numeroff,
Yes.
if you give a mouse a cookie, what will he ask for next?
I think the mouse asked for the same thing I like to ask for, a glass of milk.
Steve, does the mouse ask for a glass of milk? Agree or disagree?
I will agree.
That is correct. Congratulations, Steve. You win the first game of the match. You get a $25 Library Shop gift card, which we will email to you later since we're not open to walk-ins. You can shop online at libraryshopsd.org. We will deliver for free. And not just because you won the match or won the game, but because we're delivering free to everybody right now. So
because they're good people. That's why.
That's right. Okay, so let's move on to game 2. And we'll have Steve start us off this time as the O.
All right, let's go for Bijan.
Hi, that's me.
Bijan, the center square. You're getting a lot of mileage out of this gig.
Hey, I got you guys.
Yeah.
It supports the budget.
Yes, it does.
That's right. Yeah, most of our budget goes to Bijan and his television appearances.
Oh, yeah.
Also,
It makes us look good.
in the last episode of Librarian Hollywood Squares, which Flo and Steve were not here for, you mentioned you were an American ninja, American Ninja Warrior.
Yes.
But you also do a lot of outreach and video stuff for San Diego Public, and I believe you have a persona here. Did you want to, is that publicly revealed or is this secret?
Are you talking about Ranger B? Well,
Ranger B.
Everybody knows I'm Ranger B and everything. I know I look a lot like Librarian. You know, San Diego Public Library's very special superhero. He's amazing, incredibly handsome. I mean, he's just amazing. I love him to death. But nobody knows who he truly is. I don't. Couldn't be me. But,
a masked crusader.
Yes. But I must say, he's amazing. And the Dewey Decimator, who used to be an arch enemy of his, but now a good friend. Props, shout out to her also.
That's the power of literacy.
Power of literacy, guys. So anyways, check out all of the really fun videos that we have at San Diego Public Library, in particular our Facebook page, because you will see Librarian, Ranger B, and Mr. B, and a whole lot more fun, wacky characters. Super fun.
And a lot going on for summer reading on that Facebook page too, I believe.
Oh yes, big time.
Yeah, cool.
So SDPL summer reading, I believe, is the proper page. But if not, just look it up on Facebook. It's a page.
Okay, Bijan. Only 7 times has the National Book Award and the Pulitzer Prize gone to the same novel. Most recently, Colson Whitehead pulled it off for which novel?
Colson Whitehead. That would be The Art of War.
Steve.
Totally.
I believe there's a different author name for that, so I will disagree with that.
That's a good strategy. The correct answer is The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead. Was the last book to win the National Book Award and the Pulitzer.
I totally did not know that.
That was a terrible, terrible guess.
I know. I don't know here.
So random.
So we know what we know what ninja warriors are reading, right?
Not any of that, I guess.
Yeah. Flo, you have the board.
All right, let's go with Lydia, please.
Oh, Lydia, that's our secret square.
Oh,
the secret
On the
square.
line.
It feels amazing.
Beautiful. Do you host a lot of parties that involve dip or chip, Flo?
When it is not coronavirus, yes. Yes, I do.
You just don't serve Corona with it.
Oh,
I put my limes in the you know.
Let's see. I've got a good one for Lydia here. I need a showrunner to basically hand the questions to me. I'm learning that quickly.
We don't have a budget for that.
No, we don't. In the novel Little Women, what fruit was it fashionable to eat pickled among Amy March's classmates?
I know this because I attended a Little Women themed event at Central Library shortly before our COVID closure. And the answer is limes.
Flo, for the unicorn dish, agree or disagree?
Okay, Lydia, I'm agreeing with you.
You win the dish. Congratulations. Yay! It is limes. Pickled limes was the rage back in the days of Little Women.
Has anybody tried that?
Nico said they tasted weird, but she sort of liked them.
Yeah, we did. The library shop did an event with Miko and Jenny, who are 2 county librarians. They've written a cookbook called the Little Women Cookbook. It's available in the shop. Plug. And there is a pickled lime recipe in it. But I think Christina, we've talked about maybe trying it someday, but it's.
I have lime tree at home. I am happy to bring it in, and let's make some lime.
I think maybe on the next episode of Librarian Hollywood Squares, we could all have pickled limes together.
Yes.
So let's see. We've got our Lydia. Hold up your X. Correct. Okay, perfect. And now, Steve, you have the board.
I would like to go with Mark.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Mark.
Mark.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mark, Robert Frost was the first poet to read a poem during a presidential inauguration. Who was the second? So poets who read at the presidential inauguration.
Maya Angelou.
Steve.
Well, I know that Maya Angelou did read during the Clinton inauguration. It's hard to believe, though, that between Kennedy and Clinton, there weren't other poets. So I'm going to disagree.
Sadly, apparently Richard Nixon was not a poetry fan, or Reagan. But so that is correct. That it is Maya Angelou is correct.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So many year gap between poetry at the inauguration. All right, Flo. Looks like you have Christina for the win, maybe. Is that fair?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
On the
He's nonpartisan.
That's right. True or false, Christina? Casanova worked for 13 years as a librarian.
Well, of course. Librarianship is the profession of love. Yeah.
Agree or disagree for the win, Flo?
Well, it seemed like all the librarians went like that. I was thinking.
It's because it's a profession of love. That's what we're agreeing.
Yeah, I think they're all agreeing with the sentiment. You're going to
disagree.
No, I'm sorry. Casanova was a librarian for 13 years. The last 13 of his life, he was writing his memoirs and working as the librarian to Count Joseph Karl von Waldstein, a chamberlain of the emperor in the castle of De Bohemia. Little fun fact. So, Steve.
I would like to go with Marissa.
Marissa, and I believe this is for the win of the match. Am I correct?
No pressure.
No pressure. So, Marissa.
It's all on you.
I'm going to ask you how about a history question or a San Diego Public Library question? Have you been to the Central Library, Marissa?
Once or twice.
Okay. That's a trick question because that's where I met you, so
yes.
I know that you have. So the Central Library's Denny Sanford Children's Library is one of only 2 libraries in America with permission to display the characters of which beloved children's author?
I am going to go with, just judging by the giant Lorax mural, Dr. Seuss. It's kind of a giveaway there.
I was going to say that too, and especially since he's from the area, I will agree with that.
Steve, that is correct, and congratulations. You've won the match of Librarian Hollywood Squares.
Thank you.
Yay!
Flo, you put up a fight. I actually think you're the real winner today because you're going to go home with the unicorn serving dish.
I was really hoping for that.
Right.
Well, Steve, you won $50 from the shop, so you could purchase one of the unicorn dishes with that.
That's right.
So you could both go home today with a unicorn dish. So I want to thank you both for joining us on the Librarian Hollywood Squares. It was great getting to know both of you, and congratulations, Steve.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Good job.
Well, thank you all for coming for another episode of Librarian Hollywood Squares. We'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.